Good evening. My name is Mark Hill. I stand here before you this evening formally welcoming you to the 2021 Phoenix High School commencement exercise. Let's pause and we will play the national anthem, followed by the playing of Lift Every Voice and Sing, which will be performed by Javier Hillroller, affectionately known as Javier Devine. You may stand for both anthems if you would desire.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that dark past has taught us, and sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on until victory. Let us march on till victory. Let's march on till victory is won.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Dr. Richaudery, Superintendent of Kalamazoo Public Schools, Assistant Superintendents, Ms. Cindy Green and Ms. Sheila Dorsey Smith, Deputy Superintendent Mr. Gary Start, Directors, Johnny Edwards, Mrs. Nakinga Bergen, Mrs. Ricky Saunders, Mr. Matt McCullough, and Mr. Jeff Howe. And I apologize for not putting the Mr. in front of Mr. Edwards. I want to take this time to thank you for your continued support. I appreciate you for providing support to me, the faculty, the staff, and especially the students of Phoenix High School during this pandemic season. Wherever you are in the gymnasium or this virtual world, please stand, wave your hand, simply nod your head, give us a smile, and the rest of us will give you a round of applause. Those, will you please stand? Thank you to the Board of Education for your dedication of service to the children of this district. I salute you at this time, sporting the P, green and white. Board of Education members, if you're here, why don't you stand and we'll give you a hand. I'd like to thank each and every one of the Phoenix High School teachers, they're here somewhere, and support staff. It is extremely important to me to share publicly how impressed I am with your dedication to the children in this district, but particularly Phoenix High School. You were clear with your communication to me that you would have and will work differently to educate our children during this pandemic time. Some of you held class on weekends. You know, if you want to find a staff who's a professional at doing drive-bys to capture kids, you'll find them at Phoenix High School. I recognize your efforts and hope I did a great job regularly celebrating you as I witnessed your work in this area. To the Dream Support Team, those professionals who work with children outside of the classroom, Ms. Sue Valor, Mr. Art Norman, Mr. Coach Marlon McClendon, Ms. Lorene Phillips, Ms. Renita Ellis, Mr. Damon Chambers, Mr. Terry Buck Buchanan, and our two college student tutors, Mr. Nick Stats and Mr. Justin McKee, you must pat yourselves on the back. You all stood with me, making a commitment that we will minimize the educational casualties this pandemic has the potential to cause. You reported to the building daily with flawless efforts to engage them in learning at home or at school in our tutoring hub. I appreciate you for going the extra mile to make sure all of our young people who are here graduating tonight made it here. To all Phoenix faculty and staff, I am blessed to be your servant leader during this season, and I honor you for trusting my leadership. Faculty, Phoenix faculty and staff, please stand wherever you are and let us give them a round of applause. Thank you, parents, grandparents, guardians, and mentors who have worked with your students during his or her entire school history. We know that by the time they get to high school, they know all the answers, and you have joined the ranks of being old-fashioned. You pushed and we pulled, and when you got tired of pushing, we changed roles, and we pushed and you pulled. Our collective efforts got your child, our student, here tonight. Can we give our parents and family members a round of applause wherever they are in this virtual world? I pause here to thank the wonderful donors of the Kalamazoo Promise. Because of you, our children, our graduates of Phoenix High School have an opportunity to experience learning at the next level. I thank you on their behalf. Let's give them a round of applause. Mrs. Cindy Green, Mr. Gary Start, Mr. Charlie Mensch. How could I forget about you? I'm not going to. This is my 24th year in the district. You all were here when I arrived. Mrs. Green, who is the Assistant Superintendent of TLS, Mr. Stark, Assistant Superintendent of Budget and Finance, Mr. Mensch, Classroom Paraprofessional at Phoenix and Transition. You are retiring and will be dearly missed. All three of you have been mentors to students in my building, so I hold you in high regard. That speaks volume of your care for students. There's a funny story I must share. Mr. Stark was concerned. He came over and said, I want to, because of the proximity of my school to the administration building, he felt it would be very convenient for him to mentor students in my building, and of course I opened him with open arms. I welcomed him with open arms. And he said, I don't know though. I consider myself this old white guy mentoring students. There's a big gap here. But check this out. When my young men found out that he's the money man who operates the entire budget of the district, he became cool real instantaneously with a K. And so very quickly that relationship formed, bonded, and as a matter of fact, I ran into one of his mentees a few weeks ago who said he and Mr. Stark still have regular lunch together. That speaks highly of your character, Mr. Stark, and your heart. You will be missed, Mr. Stark, you will be missed, Miss Green, and Mr. Minch, you will be missed. Happy retirement. And I think Miss Green is here. Let's give her a hand. Oh, Mr. Minch, there he is. All right. Finally, to the graduating class of 2021. It was difficult for some of you. Some of you fought, argued, cried, even laughed your way through this school year. It was great getting to know you through virtual meetings with 95% of your cameras in off position. In this class, your range of career goals impresses me. You were not afraid and not ashamed to invite those trades into your world and scheme of thinking, from construction to auto mechanics to nursing and education. I'm extremely impressed with my 4 young men who have been accepted at HBCUs and will be studying elementary education. Don't worry, Dr. Rachowdery and Mrs. Dorsey Smith. I will be working on them on the back end so that they return to Kalamazoo to teach in KPS. Young people, I know you hear it from me often, but I am proud of you. You will do well if you hold true to the lessons and experiences that you've learned while attending Phoenix and from each and every one of the teachers. I am grateful to be your principal. You are great, you are mighty, you are fiery, and still we rise. We have 2 student speakers, well, 1 student speaker, and you'll find real quickly why we're having some difficulty getting him here, but you're going to be blessed with his speech. But we're going to hear from our guest speaker, entitled Let's Get It. Traquan Hayes is a 2019 graduate of Phoenix High School. He is he just finished his sophomore year at Coppin State University, which is an HBCU in Baltimore, Maryland. And he will make all of us proud. He's making me proud as he communicates with me regularly his journey at the collegiate level. And he will be entering his junior year, still on the dean's list. So we are proud of him. Traquan, why don't you come?
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Hello, Ferry Nation. I am Traquan Hayes, student at Coppin State University, where I maintain a 3.0 cumulative GPA with a major in elementary education. I am also an alumni of Phoenix High School, class of 2019. I just want to say congratulations to the graduates. Today is a great day. Is it a day to celebrate with your families and friends? A day you've been waiting for since you entered kindergarten. For some of you, it's waiting to get out of school or get on with your life. For many of you, high school graduation is just the next step in your education. You are headed to a university, a community college, or preparing for the career you want to pursue. But for all of you, as you move on with the caps and gowns you are wearing today and take your tassels and diplomas home, remember this. The diploma you receive today is the result of your hard work over the past 13 years, but it is beginning your big race to this thing we call life. The outcomes of this race depended on how much effort you put into your education. I learned a lot being away from Kalamazoo and in college in Baltimore, Maryland. Continue to use it. Take advantage of what it offers. Statistics show you that high school diploma is your passport to higher earnings and protection against tough economic times. It's not a guarantee, but it will also be a help. I also ready that your diploma also represents a public education system that ensures that all young people here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and across the nation, even the neediest, have the access to the same experience that have shaped you and me. That means although we learn differently, we have a shot if we use education and take advantage of its purpose. I want to be a positive influence. It was nice to be able to talk to some of you about being a teacher. If we are going to make sure that all students have a great education, we need more of us. Black men to be in the classrooms. I'm on a mission. I want many of you to join me. Let's get it. If I can do it, so can you. Good luck, many blessings, and I'm always a text, an email, or social platform away. And still, we rise.
Okay, our next speaker, we had a little problem getting him in his cap and gown, but we're going to get that on him when he receives his diploma, but he wants to do his speech now. Shanquay Dunlap, let's give him a hand as he comes.
Hard with my mom and two little brothers when I was in third grade. I was never a bad kid. I always stayed out of trouble, but somehow I was not going to graduate on time. So like in 2019, my mother and I moved back to Kalamazoo. I was trying to decide which high school to go to. My aunt told me that Phoenix High School was the best school for me to go to, and I put in an application. I was accepted. Life was different at Phoenix than it was in Ben Harbor. Everyone knew me in Ben Harbor. They never called me by my real name. They always called me Hot Dog. Other than my family, I didn't even know anyone at Kalamazoo. I was nervous at first and I stayed to myself. The teachers were nice and helpful. I remember having to take the city bus to school because I couldn't figure out my school bus route. My teacher took the time to make sure that I was caught up, and then they asked the officer to help me fix my problem with the school bus. Although I was a senior, I was also a shy person. I didn't want to get involved in the Kalamazoo environment. I just wanted to finish school. And in school, I was always scared to ask for help, but Phoenix has this thing called anti-bias and anti-racist. It basically means we don't judge or mistreat people because they different. When students saw that I was behind, they started to help me catch up on my work, and before you knew it, I was on track to graduate. All of a sudden, COVID came, and I struggled a little bit with school, and I was able to finish the school year. So June 7th, 2020 came, I went to Mill Harmon for my friend's graduation, and I was at the mall, and I was standing in the parking lot, and then one of my friends said, somebody is out to get me. I did not understand what he was talking about, but that was the last thing I remember for realizing someone was putting me in a car and driving me to the hospital. I was an innocent person standing at the mall, and I got shot. The bullet hit my left arm, the left side of my neck, and the left side of my spine. Once in the hospital, 2 days later, I learned my friend was shot and killed that same night. The doctor thought I may not be able to walk again. One day, while I was still in the hospital, I was so down and depressed because the doctor said I may never be able to walk again. My principal, Mr. Hill, FaceTimed me. I couldn't believe it. I was happy to talk to people. I felt much better after he told me he and Phoenix staff would help me reach my goals to graduate if I focused on getting healthier so that I can walk again. I left the hospital and I had to go to rehab center in Grand Rapids. I still cannot move anything but my head. So the doctors told me that I would have to go to a nursing home because I still couldn't move. My mom's apartment was on the second floor. I cried because I felt too young to be in a nursing home. Mr. Hill FaceTimed me again. I was able to tell him the good news. Although I could not walk and move my arms and legs, I did not have to go to a nursing home because my grandma opened her doors so I could stay with her. She lived on the first floor. Thank you, Grandma Valerie McLean, for opening your doors, moving your furniture, and allowing me in my hospital bed and my wheelchair to take over your living room until my mom got an apartment on the first floor. I would attend rehab, home therapy, and still cannot move. I became impatient. I needed help with everything, and that really bothered me because I hate asking people for help. Then one day I just looked at my feet and started seeing improvements. I remember FaceTiming Mr. Hill again, and I told him the good news. Although I could not walk, I was able to move my legs, toes, and arms in one of my hands. Why did I tell him that? The next day he came over with a Chromebook and told me to start on my classes. I couldn't get mad at him because I did tell him I wanted to graduate. He gave me a tutor to help me. I was determined to get better. I told Mr. Hill that my grandma's Wi-Fi was running slow. The next day, him and Coach Mack showed up at the hospital, set up, and I was back in business. I got discouraged because it taking me so long to type on grad point classes. Mrs. Ellis from school called me every day until I gave in and told them to come get me. Coach Mack came to get me, and I accomplished so much work that I wanted to come back again and again. Thank you, Coach Mack, for coming to get me almost every day. 2 weeks ago, I had a relapse, and I had to go to the hospital for a few days. Well, as you can tell, I am here today because of hard work and determination. As a matter of fact, Mr. Hill and Coach, can y'all come here, please? I can also stand up now and walk a little. And now that I'm finna stand up and walk, I am going to finish this speech standing up.
What do you want us to do?
I want to thank my grandmother, Valerie McLean, for not allowing me to feel sorry for myself. I know you were sad when I moved out because you enjoyed my company. And I want to thank my mother, Letitia Dunlap, for being by my side, and my auntie Coco, who is my care nurse and would come over to help me every day. I love Phoenix, and still we rise. Y'all knew what I was going through, and y'all never gave up on me. Y'all were on my tail. I was running from help. Mr. Hill, Mr. Ellis, and Coach Max would never give up on me. One day, Mr. Hill asked me, "Why do you keep running from help?" That's when I realized I was so stuck on getting better that I threw my education to the side. Eventually, I realized I can do both. Thank you, teachers, for having the patience with me. There are a lot of good teachers at Phoenix High School. To my classmates and all the teenagers out there, just because you may be going through your darkest times, there is help if you want it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Put the guns down, finish school, and let's make families, teachers, and friends proud of us. there are a lot of people here to help. I can even see if you can do it. If I can do it, so can you. So let's rise together and still your eyes.
Thank you, Shankwe. Let's give him another round of applause. There are a lot of those stories, and that young man was courageous and said, I want to tell it. So he crafted it, and I'm just grateful that he was brave to do such. Let's give him another round of applause. Okay, now it's that time. Dr. Chowdhury, Board of Education, family, friends, and the greater Kalamazoo community. It is my pleasure to officially present the graduating class of 2021. I do solemnly attest and confirm that the students receiving their diplomas today have completed all requirements for graduation set forth by the state of Michigan and Kalamazoo Public Schools. As principal of Phoenix High School and on behalf of the faculty of this fine institution, I recommend the following candidates to receive their diplomas.
As an educator, graduation day is one of my favorite days. Not only is it a time to celebrate academic achievement, it is also a time to celebrate the bonds formed with friends, teachers, and others in your school community. Although this graduation ceremony was not the one you dreamed of since elementary school, I hope that you know how many people from the Kalamazoo Public Schools and in the larger community are celebrating you today. There have been many words of wisdom and encouragement shared with graduates. I don't think anyone said it better than our former president, Barack Obama. If the world is going to get better, it's going to be up to you. With everything suddenly feeling like it's up for grabs, this is your time to seize the initiative. Nobody can tell you anymore that you should be waiting your turn. Nobody can tell you anymore that this is how it's always been done. More than ever, this is your moment, your generation's world to shape. You've got more role models, more roadmaps, more resources than the civil rights generation did. You've got more tools, technology, and talents than my generation did. No generation has been better positioned to be warriors for justice and remake the world. So graduates, to you I say, go out there and reshape the world to become a better place, a kinder place, a more beautiful place, a more just place, a place that provides freedom, hope, opportunity, a place that uplifts and encourages, and a place that teaches us all how to be the best that we can be. I wish you happiness, success, and joy. As superintendent, with the authority vested in me by the Michigan Department of Education and the Kalamazoo Public Schools Board of Education, I pronounce you graduated. Congratulations to the graduates of Phoenix High School.
Thank you, Dr. Chowdhury. And as we prepare to announce our students, I want to remind families, as your student come, please remember you'll be exiting out of there so that the next group of family and their students can come through.
Brooklyn Marie Atchison.
Lake.
Jaquisha Erica Burnett.
Tayshawn Ezel.
Alexia Monique Christine Johnson.
Ethan Daniel Antkowiak.
Faiza Hondo Diallo.
Nathan Gunter.
Reagan Margaret Hovey.
Stephen Lavelle Anderson.
Rayanne Lynn Marie Gerard.
Cameron Anthony Carter.
Destiny Maricela Espinoza.
Nolan Thomas Newton.
Megan Marie Jones.
Marvin Jermaine Beeville. Troy D. Gillum. Christian Michael Flores. Seanquay Devontae Dunlap. Terrence Ezekiel Herring.
Adasia Siobhan Moon. Sierra Marissa Luckett.
Andrew Darnell Burnett.
Megan Marie Jones.
Devin Thomas Casey. Eric Daniel Dewati. Abdul Solomon. Davion Javon Smith.
Tiana L. Clark.
Jaden Hassler. Trinidad Gutierrez.
Shantiana Rose Irene Wilhite.
Israel Hernandez.
Jada Regine Matthews. Melanie Salazar. Jalen Marie Edwards. Christian Shanice Woodard. Zaria Lee Yergin. Kashaya Monique Neighbors.
DeQuavion Anthony Miles. Christopher Michael May.
Kelly Nicole O'Day. Khalees Marie O'Day. Jasmine Ariana Marie McDonald. Rayana Lee.
Martavion Amir Maybon.
Tajane Lorraine Johnson.
Dominic Owen Stevenson. Orlando Maurice Tavares Player.
Jada Krishayla Russell. Nicole Marie Swan. Rain Neve White.
Garion Williams Evans.
Gabrielle Joyce Stevenson. Aaliyah Ali Walker. Sky Justice McGrew. Just you start walking. Hang on a sec.
Trey Gavin Williams. Rayshawn Devlon Warden.
Kinaja Monet Pritchett. Bianca Miracle Higginbotham.
Deshaun Omar Spencer. Derek Lamar Ruffin. Carry-on Jamal Prude.
Tamia Javon Shafino. Oriana Shantae Aaliyah Woodruff.
Jeremiah Darvey Witherspoon. Dominic Aaron Wellbaum.
Kayla Latisse Thomas. Imari Chantel Walker. Sierra Brianna Rogers. She's just doing the tassel. Doing the tassel.
So Shakira's not here, so you just read it. You can read it all.
All right. Hello, my name is Tajane Johnson. We are going to lead the Phoenix Turning of the Tassel exercise. The turning of the tassel is used to show a person transitions from high school candidate to graduate. At the high school level, the tassel is worn on the right side of the cap at the start of the ceremony and is moved to the left once diplomas are received. Phoenix tassels on the cap are the school colors, forest green and white. The tradition of turning the tassel at Phoenix High School is done by an announcement made by student leaders after everyone has received their diploma from Mr. Hill. So when we count to 3, we all will turn the tassels from the right to the left. It looks like I'm the only one that got a tassel. So I don't know. You could do it. Y'all gonna count to 3 with me or what? 1, 2, 3. Turn it. I guess. Congratulations. And still we rise.
To the community of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo Public Schools, and again, our Superintendent, Dr. Rita Richaudery, and the Board of Education, it is my pleasure to serve as principal of Phoenix High School, and we conclude this commencement exercise. Thank you, and still we rise.